This build requires a 10 by 10 area with a ceiling height of at least 13 blocks. So first, we want to place the first block 3 blocks in from the bottom left corner on both the X and Z dimensions. Then, we want to place an upward-facing sticky piston with a slime block on top like so. Now place obsidian in these positions. This next step is supposed to be placing 3 observers facing towards the block besides the sticky piston, but I incorrectly placed them when making this tutorial, so what you see is incorrect. What it should look like is this. If it looks like this, then you're golden. Now starting at the last observer you placed, stack some temporary blocks 9 high, then delete all but the top block like so. When you're done with that, you want to look at the bottom of the remaining temporary block and place 8 upward-facing observers like so. From the same angle, now place 3 upward-facing observers starting from the left side of the temporary block like so. Now delete the temporary block and replace it with an observer. Place a bell on the face of the upward-facing observer. Looking at the observer column on the right, count 5 blocks down from the top, place 2 observers. Now 4 observers. And finally place 1 observer and a building block like so. Now place obsidian and quartz bricks in these positions. Now place an iron trap door on this building block like so. Place 2 blocks of raw copper with a button on one and a lever on the other, like so. Behind the block with the button place a building block followed by 2 glass blocks, then place a temporary block underneath the second glass block and place another glass block on it like so. These next few steps are complicated, so follow closely. You can pause and rewind if needed. I also included a diagram of the layout if you need to pause and use it as a reference. On the side of the last glass block we placed, place an upward-facing sticky piston with a building block on top like so. Starting at the block behind the block with the button on it, place red stone dust on the building block and all of the glass blocks all the way down to the sticky piston. Place 2 temporary blocks and 3 observers, then 1 observer like so. Place a building block, then obsidian, then 3 more building blocks like so. Place a regular piston, then place iron trap doors in these positions like so. Surround the contraption alternating between building blocks and obsidian like so. Now place regular pistons facing outwards from each obsidian block like so. Place an emerald block here, 2 temporary blocks here, an obsidian block here, and an outward-facing sticky piston pointing into the emerald block like so. Place an obsidian block across from each regular piston like so. Fill this in with 2 building blocks. Place redstone dust and repeaters set to a 3-tick delay like so. The last repeater should be left on 1 tick like so. Now it's time to test for functionality, although I do think I did something wrong. I guess we'll find out later on. So far, so good. Let's move on to the next step. The user interface platform. Above the redstone dust behind the first repeater, place a temporary block, then a building block on top of it like so. Above the repeater on top of the emerald block, place a temporary block with a glass block on top of it, then place tripwire hooks and string like so. Place 2 blocks on top of the tripwire hook on the left and 1 block on top of the one on the right, then place 2 blocks on each side and add iron blocks to the middle like so. Now place 3 iron trap doors and change the middle one's orientation like so. This next part is pretty much all aesthetics, so I won't be doing a step-by-step for it, but you can always pause or rewind the video if need be. Starting at the block with the tripwire hook, place building blocks like so. Now place some redstone dust and a repeater like so. Now it's time to place all 7 of your armor stands, 5 on the conveyor, 1 on the slime block and 1 at the user interface. Starting on the other side of this, we're going to use glass blocks and build up to where the 7 times to 3 times toggle switch will be. I've included another diagram for clarity. Inside the first step up from the bottom, insert a temporary block, then place a building block like so. Starting at the building block, place redstone dust on it and all of the glass blocks all the way down to the conveyor floor like so. I had an inkling something was wrong before, but I'm sure of it now. It looks like this component needs moved 1 block to the right. Let's find out. No biggie, we'll fix it right up. Easy peasy. This next part is pretty much all aesthetics, so I won't be doing a step-by-step for it, but you can always pause or rewind the video if need be. I moved the button here to make room for the signs we're going to put up. Shuffle off, shuffle on, 7 times swapper, 3 times align. Cycle. Now you can store and showcase every last type of armor in the game and still have an extra armor stand for weapons, or shields, or turtle helmets, or whatever. Hopefully you can find a way to use this build in your Minecraft world. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Commander Clan Tag, signing off, until next time.